That box of pasta sitting in your pantry right now might be slowly poisoning your family. And you absolutely no idea. Why you've been trusting these billion-dollar brands to provide simple, wholesome food. They've been cutting corners ways should be illegal. Somehow not. Trust of pasta might be toxicity. We are exposing 8 major pasta brands sold in every grocery store place in Anglo. Brands your family's been eating for years. And I am warning you, what we found is going to make you check every box in your pantry tonight. Because some of these ingredients and manufacturing practices are genuinely disturbing. We're talking about metal contamination, pesticide residues, and ingredients banned in other countries, but perfectly legal here in the United States. We are warning you what countries that claim the pasta is healthy and natural, while hiding process strip away nutrition, odd chemicals you cannot even pronounce. Ingredients banned in other countries. Stick around until the end because I am going to tell you the specific pasta brands you can actually trust, the ones that are not trying to maximize profits by sacrificing your family's health. First, you knew which brands were immediately. Free dined into the shock and DSOs. You care about what you are feeding your family and want to say in for food in your pantry? Hit that subscribe button. Because these pasta companies are betting on you not reading labels or asking questions. Let us prove them wrong. Brand 1. Barilla. Let me start with the biggest name in American pasta. Barilla dominates grocery store shelves with their blue boxes and Italian heritage marketing. They want you to believe are betting authentic Italian quality. The reality is very different from the humans they sell. Barilla pasta sold in the United States is not made in Italy. It is manufactured in Iowa and New York using American wheat. That is not necessarily bad. Barilla charges premium prices because of their Italian reputation while using the same industrial processes as budget brands. Premium process for industrial processes. Here's where it gets insane. Independent laboratory testing found glyphosate residues in multiple Barilla pasta products. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in ground-up weed killer. A chemical is classified as a probable human carcinogen by international health organizations. And it is shown in pasta you feed your kids. Barilla claims glyphosate levels are the legal limits. But here's what they do not tell you. The United States has much higher allowable glyphosate limits than Europe. Pasta that is legally sold here would be banned in Italy, the country Barilla built their reputation on. The irony is devastating. Banned in Italy but sold in America, former Barilla employees report that the company sources wheat from industrial farms using conventional farming methods heavy with pesticides and herbicides. The wheat is then processed using high heat and pressure that destroys much of the natural nutrition. What you were left with is a nutritionally depleted product with chemical residues. Testing also found cadmium, a toxic heavy metal, in some Barilla products at levels concerning to food safety experts. Cadmium accumulated the body over time and caused kidney damage, well loss, and other serious of rounds. Eating contaminated pasta regularly moves oozing your family the cumulative toxin due. Heavy metals found in testing. The company faced backlash in 2013 when their chairman made controversial statements about traditional family values. But the real controversy should be about what is actually in the pasta. Marketing and branding should not distract from questionable ingredient sourcing and manufacturing practices. Barilla pasta typically costs $2 to $3 per batch, and they're paying premium prices for pasta that contains pesticide residues and heavy metals that cheaper brands do not have. That is not value. That is paying more to pleasing your family. Brand 2. Ronzoni. Ronzoni is an American pantry staple for over 100 years. The brand markets itself as wholesome, traditional hot ran by Mon Ronzoni is owned by Massa Havar and is more about thought that Monju than Passualu. The company was sold to Newell Pasta in 1999, which was then bought by Ebro Foods, a Spanish corporation. So this American classic is now controlled by foreign investors who have systematically reduced quality and maintaining an nostalgic branding Americans trust. American classic owned by foreign corporation independent testing Found ranzoni pasta contains significant levels of diethylvalna, also known as vomitation. This is a microtoxin produced by mold the Corson wheat. The United States allows higher levels of vomitoxin in food than most other developed countries. Regular consumption can cause nausea, vomiting, and immune system suppression. Former quality control employees report that ranzoni reduced their testing frequency to cut costs. Batches that would have been rejected under previous quality standards now make it to grocery store shelves. The company calculated that occasional customer complaints cost less than rigorous quality control. Quality control reduced to cut costs. Ranzoni also uses enrichment processes that add synthetic vitamins into pasta after industrial milling sorts away natural nutrients. Those vitamins listed on the label, they are not from the weed. They are chemical as manufactured laboratories and sprayed on the pasta. Everybody nods towards some cut kinds is effectively natural ones. The pasta itself is made from wheat grew with intensive pesticide use. Testing found multiple pesticide residues, including chlorpyrifos, which is banned in Europe due to neurotoxicity concerns. The chemical has been linked to developmental problems in children. It is perfectly legal in American wheat fields. Pesticides banned in Europe, legal here. Ranzoni costs about $1.50 to $2.50 per box. And the budget prices you are getting plastic contaminated mood toxins and pesticides that other countries refuse to allow in food. That is not a bargain. That is buying health problems. Brand 3. Muller's Pasta has been marketed as a quality American brand since 1867. The yellow-red packaging is instantly recognizable. That this heritage rank is and passed to owners so many times that any connection to its quality roots has completely disappeared. Miller's is currently owned by Treehouse Foods, a massive private label manufacturer. Treehouse makes store-brand fracks for dozens of retailers. Miller's is essentially rebranded generic pasta so at higher prices based on name recognition alone. Rebranded generic sold at premium prices. Lateral analysis found that Muller's pasta contains high levels of acrylamide, a chemical that forms when starchy foods are processed at high temperatures. Acrylamide is classified as a probable human carcinogen. Levels found in some Muller's products exceed European food safety regulators consider acceptable. The company uses the cheapest possible wheat sources, which means higher pesticide exposure during growing. Testing to detect residues of multiple herbicides and fungicides in Muller's pies. These chemicals work together under protein ways scientists do not fully share. The combination effects could be worse than individual chemicals allure. Multiple chemical residues in every box. Former employees report that Mother's manufacturing facilities prioritize speed over quality. Production lines run faster than recommended to maximize output. This means less time for proper drying and quality checks. Pasta should be rejected for quality defects, gets packaged shipped anyway. The enriched vitamins added to Muller's pasta are some of the cheapest synthetic versions available. Iron added to pasta is often metallic iron, literally tiny metal particles that your digestive system struggles to absorb. You get better nutrition from eating XOR iron filings. Muller's also used artificial coloring to make their pasta appear more golden and appetizing. These dyes serve no nutritional purpose. They exist only to manipulate your perception of quality. Some artificial food dyes link hyperactivity in children, other behavioral problems. Artificial dyes serve no purpose. At $1.50 to $2 per box, and Muller's seems affordable. But you are paying for artificially colored, pesticide-contaminated pasta made by a company that values speed over safety. As not saving money. As buying cheap ingredients with expensive health consequences. Brand 4 Great Value Walmart. Brand Walmart's Great Value Pasta is the ultimate budget option. Priced at less than $1 per box, seems an unbeatable deal. There is a reason it costs so little. That reason should terrify. Great Value Pasta is manufactured at low sphere. Walmart contracts whoever can produce pasta at the absolute cheapest cost. Cheapest wheat. Fastest budget and monopolistic. Manufactured by the lowest bidder. Testing found that great value pasta contains some of the highest pesticide residue levels of any major brand. We are talking about detectable amounts of 8 to 12 different agricultural chemicals in a single box of pasta. The wheat comes from industrial megafarms that spray fields multiple times per growing season. Herbicides to kill weeds, fungicides to prevent mold, pesticides to kill insects, and glyphosate applied right before harvest. All of those chemicals end up in your pasta. 8 to 12 different chemicals per box. Great value pasta has been found to contain insect fragments and rodent hair at levels that approach legal limits. The FDA allows a certain amount of filth in processed foods. Great value regularly tests right at those limits. The nutritional content is among the lowest tested. The wheat is so heavily processed that even aggressive synthetic enrichment cannot restore or is lost. Essentially refined starts with chemicals. At less than $1 per box, you are feeding your family the cheapest possible ingredients contaminated with pesticides and stored in conditions that allow pest contamination. Brand 5. Creamit. Creamit has been around since 1912 and markets itself as wholesome Midwest pasta. Creamit is owned by Treehouse Foods, the same company that makes Muller's. They're essentially the same pasta and different packaging. Same pasta as Muller's, different boxes. Independent testing found mycotoxin contamination at levels that would trigger rejecting countries with stricter food safety standards. These mold toxins and keep poor quality control. Kima also contains high levels of umma from processing equipment. Umma accumulates in the body over time, as lead to neurological problems. Loom accumulation from processing. The wheat comes from conventional farms using heavy pesticide use. Testing found glyphosate, organophosphates, and other concerning chemicals. At $1.75 to $2.50 per box, Creac costs more than generic brands, but offers the same low quality. Paying extra for contaminated pasta. Brand 6. American Beauty. American Beauty is a heavy Treehouse Foods brand. Yes, the same coffee as Muller's, Kiat, and American Beauty. Different packaging, same mediocre pasta. Third Treehouse brand, same problems. Testing from the American Beauty contains concerning levels of arsenic, a toxic smell. We from regions where soil and water naturally contain higher arsenic levels. Arsenic levels in dangerous range. American Beauty also fair tests for nutri. The amounts of and brands sing out Matt's label clans. You are getting less nutrition than the label promises. The pasta is made in the cheapest possible semolina wheat, often the lowest real. At $2 to $3 a box, American Beauty charges premium prices for volunteer ingredients. Premium prices for volunteer ingredients. Brand San Giorgio. San Giorgio pasta has been local as a creamy Italian American brand since 1914. The company emphasizes tradition, family, and wholesome ingredients. But modern San Giorgio is owned by Riviana Foods, Epro Foods, the Saint Spenge conglomerate, and Ronzoni. Sensing a pattern? These massive food corporations buy multiple heritage brands, reduce them onto the same low-quality standards, and sell them at different price points that capture maximum market share. San Giorgio, Ronzoni, and some other brands are essentially identical products in different boxes. Testing found San Giorgio contains some of the highest glyphosate azul levels detected in any pasta brand. We are looking at levels to push maximum legal limit. Your fenazine weed killer, a bowl spaghetti. A company serves as weed from medicinal ferns, spray glyphosate on crocs right before products is in dry nutrient. Diffract is called desiccation, weeds maximum chemical residue on the grain that ends in your food. It is legal but deeply concerning. Maximum weed killer in every bowl San Giorgio also tested positive for phthalates, chemicals that leads from plastic packaging into food. Phthalates are endocrine disruptors that interfere with hormone function. They have been linked to reproductive problems, developmental issues in children, and increased cancer risk. The plastic used in San Giorgio packaging appears to be lower quality than other brands. Testing found higher phthalate migration into the pasta itself. Every time you open a box, you are exposing your family to hormone-disrupting chemicals from the packaging. Former employees report that San Giorgio manufacturing facilities prioritize output over safety. Equipment is rarely cleaned fairly. Production queues matter more than quality metrics. Worker safety is MEM, which usually correlates with poor food safety practices as well. Output prioritized over safety. At $2 to $3 per box, San Giorgio is priced as a quality product. But you are getting pasta with dangerous chemical residues, hormone-disrupting packaging contamination, and manufacturing practices that prioritize speed over safety. Brand 8. No yolks. Let me end with a brand that markets itself as a healthier alternative. No Yolks emphasizes that their pasta contains no egg yolks, supposedly making it lower in cholesterol and better for heart health. This health halo marketing is dangerous and misleading. No Yolks is owned by Rivian Foods, the same company that makes San Giorgio. So you already know quality is questionable. But No Yolks adds an extra layer of deception by toggling health-conscious consumers with misleading nutritional claims. Health claims are misleading. Butters made of egg white to serve whole eggs. Sans alpha-intelligent industrial egg white processing involves chemical treatments to extend shelf life and prevent arterial growth. Those chemicals end up in your pasta. Testing found that No Yolks contains aluminum sulfate and other processing chemicals at higher levels than traditional egg pasta. These chemicals are used to maintain texture and color in egg white pasta. But they had unnecessary chemical exposure to a product marketed as healthier. More processing chemicals than regular pasta. No Yolks also contains the same pesticide residues, glyphosate contamination, and quality control problems as other Riviana brands. The egg white substitution does not make it healthier when base ingredients are still contaminated with agricultural chemicals. The cholesterol reduction benefit is minimal for most people. Dietary cholesterol has less impact on blood cholesterol than previously believed. You are accepting higher chemical exposure for nutritional benefit as largely outdated science. For nutritionists, No Yolks represents a cynical marketing strategy. Take a pedestrian product, make one minor change. Lurker is healthier and charge premium passes. Consumers in theory making a healthy choice will actually be in blur chemical contamination. Cynical marketing exploits health concerns. At $3 to $4 per box, No Yolks is the most expensive pasta brands. You are paying premium prices for a product that contains more processing chemicals. Regular pasta offers minimal real health benefits, comes from the same questionable manufacturing facilities as budget plans. A brands you concerns. After exposing all those persons, you probably won't in pasta you can actually buy. Here are brands that consistently test clean, use quality ingredients, and manufacture responsibly. Bio Naturite organic pasta uses certified organic durum wheat from Italy. No pesticides, no glyphosates, no chemical contamination. The pasta is bronze dica and slow-dried, preserving nutrition and creating bare texture. It costs more, but you are paying for actual quality. Certified organic with no chemicals. Jovial pasta is another excellent organic option. The company tests every batch for glyphosate into the emails. It publishes results online. Complete transparency. Pastas me Italy's and Toshoas. Real poly greens pastas correctly. Tinkia Rare's pasta offers a gluten-free option. It is actually healthy. From organic bran rice and no annex fillers. A company tests rigorously for arsenic, a concern with rice products. Their levels are consistently below detection limits. For budget-conscious athletes, store-brand organic pasta from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's offers good quality, reasonable prices. Both retailers have strict supplier standards to exceed conventional brands. The common throw? These brands prioritize reins or marketing. They invest in quality source and linefaction advertising. They cherish fair prices, a little value. It's of premium prices or cheap ingredients, fancy packaging. Real value instead of fancy packaging. Conclusion: what this means for your family. The pasta aisle your grocery store is full of products wholesome and safe, but contain pesticide residues, chemical contamination, mold toxins, and processing chemicals that should not be in your food. Companies find milieux and market with convincing their packs or quality. Laboratory testing tells a very different story. Marketing hides contamination. When you buy Barilla, Ronzoni, Muller's, Great Value, Cremette, American Beauty, San Giorgio, or No Yolks, you are feeding your family pasta contaminated with chemicals banned in other countries. You are accepting quality control standards so low that mold toxins and pest fragments make it into the final product. You are paying for brands that prioritize profit over your family's health. These are not smart profits. Regular consumption of pesticide-contaminated food has been linked to increased cancer risk, hormone disruption, and developmental problems in children. Heavy metal accumulation causes neurological damage and organ problems. Mold toxins suppress immune function and cause digestive issues. Regular consumption causes real harm. The average American family eats pasta 2 to 3 times per week. If that pasta contains glyphosate, cadmium, arsenic, aluminum, mycotoxins, and processing chemicals, you are exposing your family to cumulative toxin buildup. Week after week, month after month, year after year. Adamat the slow but real. The years what pasta companies do not want you to know. Clean, safe pasta exists. It is made by companies that prioritize ingredients and manufacturing. Yes, it costs more, but you are paying for food that will not poison your family. That is not expansive. That is basic value. Clean pasta sits at fair prices. Usage from a $2 box of contaminated pasta to a $4 box of yang pasta, you are spending an extra $2 per meal. For failing forward, that is 50 cents per person. 50 cents to avoid feeding your friends wee killer heavy meals. That is the best 50 cents you will ever spend. If this video opened your eyes to what is really in the pasta you have been buying, hit that like button and subscribe. Because pasta companies are banking on you not reading labels, not asking questions, and not demanding there. We here give you the information these companies hope you never find. Companies hope you never find out check your pantry tonight. Look at the brands we expose. If you have been buying any of these eat pasta brands, it is time to make a tease. Your family's health is worth more than saving $1 on contaminated food. What pasta brand have you been buying? Drop it in the comments below. Let us know if we expose one of your regular purchases. Because when we share our experiences, we realize how many families are unknowingly feeding their kids contaminated food while trusting brands that do not deserve them trust.